Today I've got Taylor here, and we're going to demonstrate, kind of what that looks like, when we test core strength and how we go about correcting it. And then at the end, we'll show you a little drill you can do at home. All right, so what I'm going to have you do is you're going to basically cross your hands on your shoulders, and then you're going to go ahead and sit back about a 45-degree angle like this, and just go ahead and hold that position for me. And then I'm going to brace your legs to the ground here. And then without taking a big, deep breath, I want you just to go ahead and sit up into my arm here. So go ahead and sit up. Okay? And I'm able to spread her out to the floor with just my arm. And that's a little bit to, she should be able to create a lot more resistance and hold my full body weight, no problem at all. So, so her core is kind of shut down right now. We're going to kind of take a look at a few things with that. So can you go ahead and maybe swivel 90 degrees towards the camera here? A little bit more.
Back towards it?
There you go, yeah. So what we're going to do is, one of the things that I find a lot is this sagittal suture up here. It's where the skull bones come together. Essentially, that gets kind of closed down. So we're just kind of create some space here just for demonstration purposes. This isn't actually the corrective yet. So just trying to open up a little bit of space there, and that doesn't hurt, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So let's give that a shot. So we're gonna go and swivel back to here. We're gonna retest that same muscle test. So hands on the shoulders, there you go, you got it. Okay, and then go ahead and sit up into me. Go ahead and sit up. Okay, so kind of cool, huh?
I'm tired now.
All right, so let's face back towards the camera for a second here. So basically, what just happened was that if your breathing mechanics are off, so the diaphragm, when you breathe in, the diaphragm should go downward, and that there's a hole in the diaphragm where the esophagus goes down through. So the diaphragm, when you breathe down, or when you breathe in, diaphragm goes down, it pulls on the esophagus, that pulls on this little bone right here called the hyoid. And then there's these little muscles that go back to C1, which is like the first cervical vertebrae. And those get pulled on, and then it pulls on the dura, which is like the outer protective coating of the covering of the brain. And then whenever that gets some movement, then we get a little bit of movement in these little sutures that we were messing with. So the solution isn't necessarily to go and start doing this all the time. That's more of a temporary fix for like demonstration purposes. The solution is more to correct the root cause, and the root cause in this case tends to be breathing mechanics. So breathing is something that the average person does about 20,000 times per day. You're not thinking about it, it's just happening all the time. And since you do it so often, you should be really good at it. However, with stress and illness and digestive issues, things that come up, they can change our breathing patterns very quickly, and then that alters how we breathe on a day-to-day basis. So that's something that we should be practicing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through an exercise to hopefully improve how her diaphragm moves when she breathes. We're going to come back to this strength test and see how it goes. All right, so the breathing exercise that we're going to do is one where I want you to start with evaluating your shoulder height. So you're basically going to stand here. You can bring your feet all the way in together and let your arms hang by their sides. And if you look in a mirror, you might be able to tell if one shoulder looks like it's higher, the other one's a little bit lower. Sometimes it's very close and it's hard to tell. What you can do is just straighten your fingertips out and see at what level, which fingertip is higher or lower than the other. So you're looking for which one's lower, okay? And so what I'm going to do for this exercise, I'm going to have Taylor come in here, and we've already taken a look at which side's lower. For her, it's the right side. So I'm going to have her do this breathing exercise with her left arm extended. Okay. So basically, you're going to do the same. So you're going to do the opposite of what was the lowest. So right side's lowest, left side is the side you're going to use. So you're going to get something that's fixed, like a doorknob or a door frame or something like that. We're using this just to show you. So you're going to go ahead and grab onto this with your left hand. And then you're going to go ahead and hinge at your hips and basically bring your torso towards kind of parallel to the ground. You can bend your knees Okay, head's gonna be nice and neutral with the spine, like this. And then you're gonna kind of create a stretch by pulling your left hip back, and your elbow's gonna be locked. So you wanna basically just get this nice stretch going right through the lat and the whole side here, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you wanna breathe into, you're using your diaphragm, so from down here, you're breathing down into your abdomen. So it's in through the nose, down into the abdomen, and then back out through the mouth. And you wanna breathe hard enough to breathe into the back here, as well as the chest, okay? So go ahead and get like 3 or 4 hard breaths. I'm gonna go ahead and push there. So give me your hand and cross it. Yeah, put it on your chest, there you go. So push in between where my hands are pushing. So go ahead and breathe in really deep.
Oh.
There you go, good. So we're getting movement on the back side and the front side. And give me one more. All right, very good, cool. Awesome, so now we're gonna go ahead and recheck for her core strength, and we're gonna see what we got. So you're gonna go ahead and cross the arms again, sit back, 45. All right, good. And then I'm gonna brace you, and I want you to go ahead and sit up into my arm here. All right, good. Does that feel easier? Yeah, cool. Let's face that camera again. So essentially, you know, that was easier because her abdominal muscles, her core, were able to activate more strongly this time, so it felt like she used less effort to create the same contraction or even a stronger contraction. So again, it goes back to getting the diaphragm working, getting that you know, coming down as you breathe in. That pulls on some mechanical stuff like the esophagus and some musculature that goes up to basically the brain, you know, and get some movement in these sutures in the skull. And so that provides a lot of neurological input into the brain, as well as just getting the diaphragm muscles to work themselves. That's a lot of neurological input as well. And all that goes up into the midline cerebellum. And that midline cerebellum, whenever we have a lack of function there, then we tend to see a lot of postural imbalances, such as you know, kyphosis in the spine, hyperlordosis in the lower back, like it's arched too much, anterior pelvic tilt where the pelvis is rotated forward, and like forward head posture, those kinds of things. So that's all stuff that tends to come up a lot in things like Pilates, where movement's a really big focus, and it often hinders improvement in those types of disciplines. So if you like this video and you want to learn more, go ahead and like the page, and you can watch more videos as they come out.